this lecture is a brief sort of inspiration idea starting lecture to kind of help you get started in finding an author and also finding the titles that they might have written, as well as getting kind of ideas and inspiration for project one. So I am a reader, so I have a lot of authors that I'm interested in and that I know about. So I will often just go to favorites. So like Jane Austen is one, or I like Elmore Leonard. I like Carl Hyacin. So if you are not, familiar, you can always go to Amazon, or you could go to Audible, or you could go to Goodreads, or even just go to, think about high school class, or think about authors that you might have had to read, like Shakespeare and George Orwell. So, say I look up George Orwell books. So I'm just doing a quick Google search, and you can see George Orwell has written Animal Farm, 1984, a couple that I have not read or I'm not familiar with. But even if you go to so he's got 10 books. So you could go to this collection of 10 books, see all the books he's written. Obviously, this set has, they're designed as a series, which is really, really cool. You could even go to book designers or Penguin publishers, or again, go to the library. There's a designer, her name is Jessica Hish. She does a lot of typeface design, but she also does a lot of book design. And so some of her covers are really, really cool. And she actually did a series. I'm going to go to her work. And this is just like about finding inspiration. She did a really cool book series as her stuff loads for a publisher. And I believe it's this stuff. If I go to this link, my internet is not behaving very well. Nope, that's not what I wanted to go to. She did, let's try this again. I believe these are her books. Let me keep going. She does a lot of typographic work. Her work's awesome. If you're not familiar with it, I definitely would visit it. I think it's not these. I suppose I should have looked this up before I started this. Here we go. So she did these books, and these are all actually different authors, but you can just see if you're thinking about maybe, if you're going to do a type dominant book cover series, this is really cool look and feel for type dominant. She did Dracula. So these are really cool. Again, these aren't series, but just gives you an idea of what you could do with your book covers. But say I go to Goodreads, and Goodreads is another one that's really good. They'll have authors. So say you look up Eric Larson, I think he's done some books, but even if you look up, let's do a search. I guess you have to log into Goodreads. So we're just going to go to Amazon. And say we want to go to Shakespeare. Nah, Shakespeare's too. Let's go to a more modern one. Stephen King. So Stephen King books, you'll get all of his titles and stuff. And say you decide to do 3 of Stephen King's horror novels. So let's just say we want to do Misery, because we want to get the information on the back. You can go to Misery. I believe if you click on this, you can get an idea of the synopsis. And I believe, here's a quote that you could put on the back. You could use this as the synopsis on the back. So there's a lot of different ways to look up authors, to look up, artwork, to get inspired. And even if you, don't necessarily know what the book is about, I think if you just read the back, you'll kind of get a good idea of what the books are about. And you could even do popular author. Let's do a Google search. Popular authors with many titles. And you'll get Agatha Christie, Stephen King, James Patterson. So you could look up these people. So what I am going to recommend though is I recommend you stay away from books that are actually series. So like the Harry Potter series. I wouldn't do those because I want to see how you would treat three different book titles that aren't connected, but their only connection is the author. So definitely stay away from um, things like that. But even if you wanted to do romance novels, I think that would be kind of fun. You can see, Nora Roberts has a lot of romance novels. James Patterson is thriller mystery. Agatha Christie is thriller mystery. I know that, there's some authors who do more comedy. So hopefully this helps just, being able to do research and look at different titles. And even if you wanted to be inspired, you could say best book cover designs. A lot of times I'll do this too. I'll go to best book covers designs and then I'll look at, go to images and just look to see, some good book covers designs. So here's some, nice ones with photographic silhouettes and nice typography. It's not a series, but it just gives you a kind of an idea of different things that people are doing with book design. Here's a really cool one with some geometric elements laid over with some graphic elements. I think book cover design is really fascinating, and hopefully this project will kind of inspire you to do some really fun things with book covers. There's just a lot of really cool things that people do, both with typography, with imagery, with photography. So hopefully this kind of helps you get inspired, start thinking about authors. You could even ask your friends or parents, who's your favorite author, look up their titles. But I think this hopefully will give you a good start, and I really look forward to seeing which authors and titles you guys pick to work with for this first project.